In this tutorial, we are going to be talking about modifying permissions and removing files in bash. In modifying permissions, you use the ls-l command to list all the permissions. Now, the first or start of the line checks the file type. That is, if it's a hyphen, then it's a file. If it starts with a D, then it's a directory. The next is the user's permission. This first one are the user's permissions. Now, there is read and write, or read, write, execute. The next is the group permissions. That is this one, this one, this one. And the next is the others permission. That's if you are not the user or you are not in the group, this is your permission. The next one is number of hard lines, and we're not actually going to be talking about it in this tutorial. So the next one is the owner of the files and those who can change the permission. That's the owner, and the owner is should be. And the next one is the group owner, and the group owner is also should be. The next one is the size of the file, and the next one is date modified, and lastly is the name of the file. There are two commands used to change permissions in bash. You can change owner's permissions, and you can also change execution permissions. And to change owner's permissions, we use the chown command, and to change the execution permissions, we use the chmod command. So we are going to be looking at the manual pages of chown. So as you can see in the manual pages, chown is changes file owner and group. For example, we want to change the group ownership of file 3, and to do that, I'm not root, so I'm going to use sudo. If you are root, you use normal chown, but since I'm not root, I'm going to use the sudo command. So sudo chown root file 4, file 2, I think that's what you're changing. So password, and yeah, I've gotten it. And when we list the files, you see that we have changed the owner of this file to root and not should be. Great, right? And now also to change the group owner to root again, you can use the chown command like this. Sudo chown. The colon signifies group, roots, file 4, file 2. And when we list it, we see that we have also changed the group owner to root. Now there are other ways to change group owner. If this is a little complex for you, you can use the change group command, that's chgrp, and change the group owner. So you change it like this: change group to should be file 2. Sorry, I didn't use sudo. And when we list it back again, you usually see that should be is now the group owner. So this is for changing ownerships in bash. So how do you change executions in bash? So looking at the manual of chmod, chmod is used to change file mode bits, that's execution commands, in bash. So they'll use either the letters or the numbers, and I'm going to explain it to you right now. So I made a list, or let me say a word part of how to explain the group executions permissions. So this is quite explanatory. the arrow W X, the owner group order. The arrow is the read, the W is the write, and the X is the execute. So when we want to give read, write, execution commands, we just add X to show that it executes, and once you write X to execute, it also reads and it also writes. For example, I want to give execution commands to file 3. So how to actually do this, I'll use chmod, sudo chmod plus X, and I'll give it file 3, so that when we list content, so that when we list content and check file 3, we see that we've given execution commands to all of them. So when we want to use numbers, the R stands for 4, the L, the right stands for 2, and the X stands for 1. And to use it, we use it like this. For example, we want to give permissions to file 4, to new file. I want to give permissions only to the owner and not to the group or order. To use that, we come back here. The owner, for the execution privileges, we have to add 4 plus 2 plus 1, giving us 7. So if we want to give the owner read, write, execution privileges, we use 7. While you don't actually want to give the group and the order, that is, we now use 0 and 0. And look at how it works here. So sudo chmod 700 file, new file, and after giving the permissions, when we list it, hey, new file, you have given read, write, execution to the owner, but remove the permissions of the group and of the order. So if you want to give the group permissions, if you want to give the other permissions, you want to give them read, that means it will be 744. If you want to give them the write and read, it's going to be 7, 4 plus 2 is 6, 766 or 764 or 700, depending on the one you want. So this is it for executions and permissions in Bash. Hope you understood it. See you in the next lesson. Let me get back to work. Thank you.